Hi friends, it's Sarah from rufflesandrainboots.com here with a Camo Hunter Gnome and really cool pre-made boots. I forgot to do the video where I boop the nose, so if you'd like to make it, stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be using this camo fleece that I got from Amazon, but Joann's will have it as well. It's only a two-way stretch. I'm using a ruler, a mat, an X-Acto knife, scissors, and a hot glue gun for assembly. I'm going to be using about 4 inches of a pool noodle, but don't stress if it's not exact. I'm going to use 6-inch dowels for my leg. These are from the Dollar Tree, but you can also use 12 and cut it down. A 1-inch wood round for the nose and 1/2 inch for the hands, and a little faux fur for a beard, but we'll talk about alternatives. For the boots and to add weight, I'm going to use these Dollar Tree stones. If you don't have the boots and you just want to make the gnome, add tape to the bottom of the pool noodle, add glue and rocks to that center channel to weight it down. These, however, are from Wendy's Gnomes. I bought them a long time ago before I moved, promptly forgot about them, and now I'm getting around to make stuff with them. They are super lightweight, so I need to add weight. I don't like putting the weight in the middle of the body when I can add weight to the feet. And I'm going to do that just by using my scissors and creating a hole. I am going to stay towards the back of the boot with my legs, so I'm going to add as many little tiny rocks or the weight of your choice to the front of the boot, add some hot glue, and secure that all together, just with hot glue. So I'm just making sure I'm tipping them, just tamping it down just to make sure that they're all to the front, because I'm going to use these 6-inch dowels as my leg and my join between the boot and the pool noodle. Easy, right? So I have 1 inch or 2 in between there. So I'm going to glue the flat part of the dowel into the bottom, sort of to the back where an ankle would be, as opposed to the center of the boot, right? We don't want to just put it in the center because it's going to be a little off for us. So what we want is just to move it back a little bit. It helps with balance, especially if you sew. I'm going to secure that in, and then I'm going to add a lot of more rocks. I'm just going to fill this entire chamber with rocks. And the reason I do this is because I like a sturdy gnome. If I walk by something and it falls down, I equate in my mind that it isn't good quality. Now, that's my personal hang up. So if you don't want to add weight to your boots, you don't have to. You just do you. All right, so I'm not going to watch you make me do the other one. All in all, this gnome only took about 20 minutes. I made 2 of these boots, and I made a hat, which is not going to be shown. But everything is real time. I'm not speeding anything up. So for the body, we're going to make sure the stretch is on the horizontal, and we're just going to wrap this thing, y'all. That's it. Do you need to have an overhang? No. You just need to cover up the bright yellow or the bright blue or the bright purple or the bright red pool noodle. So I'm going to cut what can only be described as the wonkiest rectangle, and I'm going to glue it directly to the pool noodle. Now I know I've glued directly to the pool noodle, putting the hot glue on the noodle, and some of y'all have said, I melt the noodle that way. I hear you can do this. It's okay. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm so zen for this voiceover. I don't know. Maybe the rough and rugged fella here just makes it all, all okay. All right, so we're going to now measure a beard. So I don't want my beard very long, but I do want it wide, and I want it to cover up my arms because I am going to wire the arms. So you can see I'm making a 4-inch wide by a 3-inch tall beard, and I'm going to draw it on here for anyone who is new. Do you have to use a Sharpie and draw on your faux fur? Absolutely not. But for those of you who ask me questions about this, there are some basic shapes. This is one where you have a drop down to a V. You can do a U. I like the drop because to me it just makes the beard fuller underneath the hat. If you're new to cutting faux fur, put the fur pile all one direction and use an X-Acto knife, box cutter, or razor to just score the fabric backing. And look at this. Whoosh. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to move back to the legs and my body and some pants because he's pantsless and we need to change that. So I want to determine where I want my pants to fall. I am going to make sure you can see this little bulbous boot top. So I'm going to go and use a pencil sharpener. Ooh, it's like I just learned the language. I'm going to make those dowels pokey. How's that? Now, I get questions on this a lot. Why is my gnome falling over? Listen, never put things in the middle. Just stick to the back, off center, and you're gonna be solid. So what we're gonna do is just on either side of this big pool noodle hole, we're just going to go back of center and pop in a leg. Now let me show you before I put the other one in so you can see we're not at the center, we're right back of center. And that's also gonna make us have a cute little turnout with our boots. So just poke the second one in. Now, if you are new to this, you can also get the legs where you want them and make a little line on them so you know where to glue them back in later. Or you can be like the rest of us and just wing it. Okay, so that's my height. I always do a drop test. And now I'm going to make sure the horizontal stretch is on the left to right. And now I'm just going to make a little tiny bit of overhang all the way around. The overhang will be on the horizontal and a little bit of overhang on the vertical. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch hem on the top and bottom. Fleece does not actually fray, so you don't even need a hem. I don't even know why I did a hem, okay? But you're gonna put right sides of the pattern together, and then you're just gonna glue up this short edge right here. Just a little hot glue, squish it down. Now, while that is setting, I am going to leave the very top and the very bottom open because now I'm going to create my little hems. Again, we're working on the wrong side of the fabric, right? Because when we turn it right side out, we want it to match what we just put on our pool noodle. All right, so now that's over, or now that's done. I'm just gonna pop these out and I'm going to get an idea of where the pant leg cut needs to be. We're working on the wrong side of the fabric. There's a big seam on one side. Put that to the side. It'll be so much easier if you do. Then find the middle between the boots and cut that. It's not going to be the middle of this, okay? Never turn it right side out because that's when you get two differently sized pant legs. But just cut a 2-inch slit and that's your pants. We're going to hot glue those two insets right here. I don't know, just glue right there. Just glue right there. And on the other leg too. There we go. Now you can create any hat for this gnome. I am going to use one of my patterns because I designed this pattern for hunters and for cold weather stuff and for winter stuff. So I'm going to be creating a hat for this using a pre-made pattern from Ruffles and Gnome Boots. To assemble, I'm just going to turn it right side out, slip it over the boot. Look, I stabbed the top there with the dowel. They're sharp, watch out. Once you get them through, just position the boots again, pull the pant legs down. Well, I can't be left alone in my craft room because I do things like that. Tell me in the comments that you do those things too, or is it just my ADD brain? All right, so I'm adding a little hot glue to the very top of the dowels, making sure I've pulled down those pants out of the way, and now I'm just gonna pop those right back into the holes we created earlier. Again, I'm going to stop where I wanted my height. Now you can see I made mine a little big because I'm going to stuff his belly and his booty. He's gonna be badonkadonk. He's gonna have a little heavier bottom. And so I'm just going to use a little polyfill. You don't have to do this. You could also make suspenders would be super cute. That's me laughing. I laughed for a good couple minutes. I'm shaky. I can still tell that I'm laughing. All right, so I'm just gluing that all down in the back and in the front. And I even put some on the sides because why not? We're getting to make our own little things here. Look at don't do that. Okay, this is PG channel. All right, so you can see I'm actually gonna glue down the pant legs here because these are very slick plastic and I didn't want my fleece riding up. So I'm just securing it down here at the bottom. Now here is the hat that I'm going to make. This is my pattern. It's on rufflesandrainboots.com and the shop. I'll put a link below and you can watch this video, which will also be linked, in order to learn how to assemble it. Because I've shared it on this channel, I'm not going to make you watch me put it together. I have a very detailed video on this, but it's super simple. It takes about, for me, about 7 to 8 minutes to assemble it now. It's not very long, especially when you're gluing it. Once that's assembled, I set it aside, and now I'm going to make some arms, which are totally optional. You don't have to make them, and you don't have to make them as big as I am. But I'm taking a 2-inch square or rectangle. I'm leaving the bottom open. I'm not sure if you saw me. Let me show you. So the bottom is open because that's where my hands are going to go. So I put these right sides together, and I'm going to turn them out later. So once those are assembled, once those are dried, I'm going to turn them out, and then I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to add a little hand, and I make the flash decision that I'm going to wire the arms. If you've never wired arms on a pool noodle or a cone gnome, it's so easy. All you're doing is getting the width or the length of the ribbon, or length of the wire. If you want to glue the arms as they are, or even stuff, just glue them. It's okay, you can do that too. But I like to make mine a little chunky, fold down the wire, put it all the way in the arm, and now we're just going to make sure one wire is pokey on this side. All right, so I have a little bit excess fabric on this side. This one was a little bit longer. I have no idea how I did that. And then I'm just going to snip that off and remove it, and then we're going to work on the arm. So I'm going to cut a small hole in the fabric of this, not necessarily through the pool noodle, because the wire will absolutely go through the pool noodle. And you can see I'm about a 1/2 inch away from the top of the pool noodle, and I'm just going to poke that through all the way through the center, and then when I poke it out the other side, it's going to show me where to cut the fabric on the other side, and then just pop it through. All right, now if you are doing this on a cone, I would add washers where the wire meets the cone. Otherwise you'll tear up some of those inexpensive foam cones, especially the Dollar Tree ones. But on the pool noodle, they seem to work just fine. So once I have the other side, I'm going to fold down the other end, slip on the arm, and I like to secure it 2 ways. The first is I close up the little opening, and then I glue the top of the arm to the body. So here you can see I'm going to close up the opening, and on the other side, and then I'm actually gluing that back fabric right to the body. I can also glue this part down here as well. It doesn't matter, no one's gonna see it. I don't know why I took the time, but here we are. As I mentioned, this entire thing took about 20 minutes. It is not a difficult build, and I like the boots, I have to say. I have 3 pair, I think, and so you're probably going to see me use those on a couple more projects. But I'm just going to put 1 line of glue here at the top, making sure it's centered, making sure the point of my beard is in the middle of his belly. And then once it is, I'm going to lift the beard up and just glue it down. If you're new to this, try not to get hot glue in the fur of the beard, and you're golden. Easy peasy. My fur is very strange. It has long and short pile mixed in together, but just push up a tiny little bit of it so that you can see the faux fur's fabric backing. You add glue to that and then pop on your nose. I do like to hold it in place just for a second or 2 to make sure it's set. I decided that I want the flaps up, but you know what I would do now? I would put the ties on the hat, and then you remember the tie, I don't know if I'm aging myself, but they used to have ties that you could tie these things up. You could also use a piece of Velcro. I'm not telling you what to do, but I decided to hot glue the flaps up. Now I did add a little stuffing into the hat, which turned out to be too much stuffing. So take some out. And then I pop the hat on. I'm going to glue down the front first because that's what everybody sees. So I want to make sure that's centered and nice. So I'm putting the glue on the fleece, not on the Sherpa. So what I mean by that is it's on the camo portion, which is on the inside underneath this Sherpa. And the reason is because you're going to get a better secure join with that. So I'm just going to hold that there, and then I'm going to do the sides and do that. And again, you've covered up all of the arm stuff. You've covered up the top of the faux fur beard, and look at him. Oh, now I want to see one with suspenders. Could you make one and give him suspenders? I love him, but what do you think? What do you think of these boots? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, please like, please share, and please subscribe for more crafty fun.